Yep. All right, we'll call the October 3rd, 2016 management meeting to order. Roll call, is that everybody?
Yeah.
Okay. Public comment. Farm management issues.
Oh, we're getting ready to harvest. Let's see what the weather does. We may be harvesting this week. So, we still had a little rain in them, but they're about there, and the rain actually helped even them up. Some were dry and some had leaves, so that kind of helped knock some of the weeds off. But maybe harvesting this week. So, if anybody's around, feel free to come by. So,
Let them drive a semi?
Got your license? We have to talk to the sheriff.
Put them on a combine.
Yeah, yep. So, but yeah, there's nothing, everything moving along well, and we're glad we do have oversized tires on the combine, and our tractor that we have on the grain cart actually is tracks. It's a large deer with tracks and large tires on the grain cart as far as in compaction, and all that really helps out because we're very mindful of that, keep the compaction down. So no, I mentioned just there briefly last month, and we'll, like I say, after harvest, we'll look and mention maybe at the next meeting, maybe able to give a better idea on possibly of trimming some of that head back. There's places, there's more, there's that 1/4 mile, and then there's also kind of the area around the RC Park and some of that where there's just a lot of overgrowth hanging way over. So we can see, and we'll try to have a rough estimate of what it might take to do it. But everything's looking good on the farm front. So.
Now, everything's beans, right?
Yes, yep, something this year, real corn next year.
What are you gonna do fertilizer in the fall here and then till it, or how, what's the?
Yes, yep. Well, probably in the tillage on the beans, maybe in the spring, and then we may do the fertilizer in January timeframe. Yep.
All right.
So maybe in February, January, February 10th, 11th. So, yep.
Anybody else got any questions?
My apologies, Mr. Chairman.
Been a good year, hasn't it, for crops?
Yes, yep. A little water damage, a few areas, but minimal, and there's enough rolling, and again, we really helped it with that drainage work. And the 40 that sits over there by itself may have one of the best crops it's ever had with all the rain. It was really good. It's sandy, but the beans, goodness, were up chest high on me, and there's a hole out in the middle of it. There's just a sinkhole that there's nowhere for it to go, and it's minimal, not a very large area. But most we got high hopes for them. A lot of the crops around, it's been the way down my home there south of here. Corn's been really good, not quite what I thought it might be, but still excellent. But the beans been above expectations. I thought they were going to do good. But, so no, we're anxious to get them and see how they do, but expecting them to do real well.
Anybody else? All right, thank you.
Yep.
Okay. Next thing is open snow removal bids and discuss options. We have one.
Have one bid.
One bid. Looks like it's from Halls. One-year bid would be $9,000. Three-year bid would be $2,550 or $8,500 per season. So 2550 must be 3 times 3,500.
How many years?
That'd be 3 year.
Even
25,500. Sorry, I said that wrong. Salt application, 65 cents per pound on 1 year, 50 cents per pound if you go with the 3 year.
How much for 3 years? I'm sorry.
50 cents per
50
pound,
cents. What was the other one?
65,
For 1 year.
yeah. Got your insurance certificate.
that said 8,500 per season, or
On a
per
3
year?
year.
On-
For the 3 year, 8,500 per season. For 1 year, 9,000 per season. So,
How does that number compare with the last time we had contracted out the snow?
I think it's pretty close to what they bid last year, but it's significantly higher than the last time that we paid for snow removal. But that was that year that was so bad that then the next year they upped it because they probably lost money.
Oh, this is for lawn.
Yeah.
Now, what did, how did we bid that? Did we bid it for us doing salt? Did we bid that for them?
Salt is always bid on a per pound basis.
But I mean, we were talking
So-
about us doing the
Well,
salting.
that's one of the options we need to discuss. I mean, this is, I would imagine, for snow removal, and then, I don't know, how much is salt per pound?
You get it on sale with Big R, you probably get it, what, $4 a bag?
What,
Probably about 40 pound, maybe 40 pound a bag. But
So,
40 cents.
yeah, so they're probably figuring labor into the spreading of it and everything in the per pound. So I guess our options would be go with them for 1 or 3 years, go with them for snow removal and do the salt spreading ourselves, or
we
something
added
else.
wording to the bid that said something about bare sidewalks,
Well,
not just
it
a
was,
scoop shovel width.
it was supposed to be on there that all sidewalks and steps would be completely cleared, not just, yeah, snow shovel width. So, thoughts?
What are your thoughts on,
Well,
I've heard said that you can handle the snow removal?
the down, mine I did last year, but we had a pretty good year. I mean,
Yeah, I was just trying to figure it out. Looks like we already used up a whole pallet. I used about 2/3. So that's going to be about 4,800 pounds of salt that we used last year, not counting sidewalks. That's just parking lots. I probably used about 500 pounds on the sidewalks last year.
this bid just for the parking lot doesn't include the sidewalks?
No, it's supposed to, they're supposed to shovel sidewalks and,
Okay.
And it's courthouse in here.
yes.
So 4,800 plus 500 is 5,300 at 40 cents, right?
My math was off. Well, it's 10 cents a pound, $4 a bag for 40 pounds. I just retired it. That would be 10
I
cents a
was
pound.
wondering, so that would be easy, that's,
And last year was kind of a light year, really.
right.
The 500 pounds we use on sidewalks is a little higher price salt, that calcium chloride. So
So 600 $600 actual cost for salt we used last year approximately, give or take.
Well, if it's a fair price, we have years that take a lot, other years that don't take much, like last year. Seemed like it'd be to everybody's advantage to get it on a 3-year lease. That way both people have the ups and downs. They should have had it last year. That's great.
Yeah.
But this is, it's taking a little gamble out of it by multi-year contract.
Well, yeah, and like you say, it'll spread it out. They may have a good year and a bad year, and then
That makes sense.
if they lose a little one year, they make up on it the next year. But,
If they had a bad year, they say, we're really looking forward to next year. And we can say we are too. It could be a bad one, again. Are there other people in the area that do snow plowing?
I don't know about directly in Waseca. I talked to some that do it other places, and they said they didn't want to bid here because it was too far for them to drive. So that could be an issue, you know. If they've already got a full schedule and you get a bad year, then it would overwork them maybe.
Well, this would be to our benefit if we had more than one bid.
Yeah. But yeah, I don't know, you know, like Walmart and Big R, I don't know who does theirs, if they do it themselves or if they hire it out.
I wouldn't think they'd have equipment.
Yeah. Yeah.
There are some locals that have just pickup trucks with plows on them that do places like Walmart and Fairfax and so forth. Pincher used to be one of the locals that did it. I don't know if he still does. And he had a Bobcat he used for clearing off the sidewalks and stuff.
I mean, if we had to, we could redo it for next month.
Where's this guy from?
It's Hall's, it's the one that's done it before. And
Okay.
the son, I think, does the snow removal, the dad does the mowing. So. Says previous experience with county, been doing snow removal for 16 years. That sound right? That they've been doing it forever here?
No, 16 years, not here,
Okay.
right. That refers
They've just
to
been
the
doing it.
overall.
Okay.
Do they get here in a timely fashion so that the walks are cleared for the employees to get in? And do they come back on the weekends and do, as to, like, if it's blowing and that, have they done a satisfactory job with that?
We've had some issues, but that little bit subjective too. If it starts snowing at 7:30 in the morning, it's going to be different than if it's snowed at 6 o'clock.
Well, if it starts snowing at 7:30 and they come to work at 8:30, I don't think it's as big an issue as if we've had 10 inches overnight, or 6 inches even, or 4 inches, and they need to be here to have them in the building at 8:30.
Basically, they're supposed to keep the lot clear 24 hours a day because of 911 in the jail. So
That was actually in the bid packet, that we specified that the lots had to be cleared 24 hours a day.
which, you know, is another reason that it may have jumped. I don't know if it was in there before.
I think we kind of clarified that, didn't we, Amanda? We read that. I think Amanda read it to you over the phone, with the verbiage that we added, just to make sure that that was clear, that they needed to be kept clean all the time.
I guess, what do you think about them doing snow removal and you doing some salting, or what are your thoughts on that? Or is it going to be too much, too confusing, too...
It's going to be hard to get that coordinated because I could be salting, they still could be plowing snow. come back after I salt to touch up, it's just gonna be hard to get that worked out.
Okay. Well, that's something that, you're the one that's gonna have to deal with it. It was just a thought that, we might save a little money that way, but if we end up
Worst
doubling
case
the work.
scenario, if Clyde and I could, touch everything up, and then, I don't know, you guys can subtract it from whatever, worst case scenario, I can put the plow on, you can put the salt shaker on, and we can touch things up, or whatever,
So, basically, we wanna have them do things and you'll do touch-ups.
Well, that's just a suggestion, that's up to you guys, if
Okay.
somebody can suggest.
If necessary.
If necessary,
We don't want
yeah.
them to be, if we're gonna give them a contract,
Right.
we don't want
They
that
sh-
to be a continual thing.
Right. How does this fit into the budget?
It is not budgeted.
So,
No amount is budgeted for snow removal?
Correct. I had conversation with Sheriff on whether there'd be adequate personnel to do it, and he said yes, that he didn't think we needed to do that. You could have conversation with him again, but
do we have adequate personnel?
You're looking, I mean.
Right, right. Right.
As far as trustees, I think we've had one trustee in a year, so I mean, I really can't count on a trustee because they're all, I haven't had one, so I don't want to count on something I don't have.
And you haven't had any public service people either, have you?
No, that kind of dried up.
So where does this leave us?
Well,
With a month figured out.
right, you could go to finance on Thursday, they're set to approve a tentative budget to be posted and request this, and we'll have to see how to make that work.
Yeah, we've
What
got
was that?
time,
Do you want to table it till November?
No,
well,
get it set up now.
do we want to
Through the
send it
finance
to
committee, I
finance?
mean.
Yeah. Well, table it here until after finance and everything goes through.
Which would be
Yeah.
November, right?
Yeah.
Make the motion subject to financial approval and placement in the budget.
Okay. Because it's,
To do what?
Whatever we decide here.
it's for December 14th through November 15th is what the contract
Okay.
is for. So,
I think the finance committee wants to get done with their budget. Won't change much in our view here, but a delay.
okay, so,
Well, you want to approve it pending finance committee's approval?
Yes,
okay.
that makes sense, because we
Yeah.
gotta post the budget too,
I think we should try and get another bid. I think we should send it to have finance approve an amount in the budget, but I don't think we should be approving and giving the contract to anybody. We don't have to until November anyway. I think we should try and get another bid.
Does anybody know anybody else that they can talk to try to get a bid? And now we have opened this bid
I
publicly.
can contact Pinchers, they used to remove
Well,
snow.
but this bid's been opened publicly, so now anybody else can look at that and say, oh, well, we'll bid $8,400 for 3
They
years.
can have a chance to rebid, right?
Yeah, but
Yeah, but we're assuming that they bid it at the best price.
not only look at it, they can hear somebody's voice telling them what was bid in this
Yeah.
meeting.
So, yes, it'd be nice to have other ones, but then we went through the bidding process and published it and everything else. I don't want to be unfair to ones that went through the process. And that gets to looking like somebody had a
you start that
And by
process,
you.
you're always gonna have somebody holding back and then saying, I'll make a bid.
Right. So, okay. Well, I guess first we need to decide, are we thinking 1 year or 3 year? We need that in whatever motion. And then if we're sending it for approval, finance needs to be in the motion. I don't know who would like to word that and how they would like to word it.
Well, you have a motion on the front.
Can you restate the motion? Can you restate the motion, Amanda? Did you have it?
No.
Did I make it?
Yeah, you made
Made
one.
a motion.
What did I say?
Why don't you just start over and say your
I don't
motion?
remember what I said.
Neither does anybody else.
What?
Neither does anybody else, so just,
I don't remember making a motion except one way or another, or...
you were just making a suggestion, not a motion.
I didn't make a motion.
Okay. Well, then I would like a motion, please, from someone.
I kind of go along with John. I feel like one bid's not enough. I really do.
So we have the opportunity to reject all bids.
Yes, we do.
How many bids do we have when we did this a year ago?
One. As long as I've been here, there's been one bid.
It's always been hauled, huh?
Nobody else wants to bid on it.
Well,
You know, I can contact Pincher. He's done snow removal, and he knows other people done snow removal. I can contact him and find out what's going on there. He's local, and so I'm sure there's some others local too.
But maybe they don't want to do the 24/7 either.
Yeah, that might be the problem, but I can talk to him about it and see.
I think that's very possible he would be it.
At least it gives us the knowledge of the fact that others don't want to bid for whatever the reason they would state. I think it gives us a stronger footing upon which to base our decision. Since we don't have to do something today, that would be, I think, what I would prefer too.
And we have till November, right, to approve it.
Yes.
At the same time, we can ask the Finance Committee to put an amount of money in the budget, can we not?
We can do that. So we don't want to do something that makes these guys say, well, if that's the way they're going to be, we'll withdraw our bid, and then we have no choice. Larry's out there plowing.
Then nobody wants it.
Yeah. I mean, you gotta.
We can imagine all kinds of worst case scenarios.
Well, I mean,
so.
There's
They can still withdraw their bid even now if
They-
they approved it today.
They can, but there's a bidding process to keep everything above board, and by going back and
Well, you're jeopardizing that just a hair by doing this, saying we're going to open it for further bids. Because you've
and
looked
that's
at one.
where this should have been the discussion we had last month to go out and talk to people.
I should have mentioned it.
Well, there has to be a legal process, otherwise we wouldn't have the wording that we have the right to reject any and all bids. So there has to be a legal process for that, to accomplish that.
Yeah. If we feel that they're all way off or way out of budget, which at this point, they are way out of budget because we don't have a budget for it.
Correct.
That, I think, throws it off as well. If you didn't prepare that much ahead in the budget, how can you say that's a
Well,
decisive factor now?
we were trying to get some kind of figures for budgeting also.
We're still doing that.
Yes.
Seems to me, though, that if people, was this when they had in the paper,
Yeah.
how many times?
I mean,
It only got to run 3 days
Just one,
because the
3 days.
3 days?
but it was on our website for 2 weeks.
And if nobody else answered it, nobody else wants to, I guess.
That's what you gotta assume.
No, you're saying though that other people are constantly monitoring those things. I'm not sure you can
Well,
make that
Yes,
conclusion
very
either.
much.
Imagine
but
this
if
season
you're
they-
in that business and you want that business, because they asked before it even was published,
Mhm.
right? So if you're in that business, you are monitoring that.
Well, I wouldn't disagree that a good businessman would do that.
We'd want a good businessman anyway.
It just depends on whether we want more than one bid, I guess is all I'm saying. I think that is to our benefit to have more than one bid.
It's always to our benefit to have more than one bid,
There's no argument there.
but we didn't get more than one bid. This is what we got. And just because we didn't get what we wanted, doesn't mean we can change what,
If the bid, let's say the bid was 15,000 a year, would that change our way we're looking at this?
yes, because then you might be hiring.
How much was it a year ago?
Last year, if I remember right, it was close to this, but we didn't accept it. The year before that, it was maybe half that. It jumped considerably, I know, last year, and that's why, one of the reasons it went in-house.
It was an easy year, so we got by.
Yeah.
What about the possibility of letting Larry doing the heavy lifting and hiring a part-time as-needed extra help that we can call in?
That's not in the budget either.
No, but it would be a lot less.
How do you know?
For one person, part-time would be less.
And a lot of snow, it might not be.
You're
On, if someone was hired part-time, what does that do with, if they're part-time, there's no benefits, right?
Correct.
But it's still,
The issue would be that would be a union position. I'm not sure what the pay would be because we haven't had anyone in those positions for quite some time. But the ASME contract does have those positions in, and those positions were cut way back in 2009 when all the cuts went through. I think Larry was at the year that you lost all your guys that used to do all that. So whatever their rate is, and I don't know what that is off the top of my head, I can go look at the contract, but
Can we do that with contract? Or
what,
would
add
that
a part-time
create-
person?
with-
yes, Larry.
There's a lot of confusion here that in order to do this, Clyde and I lucked out last year. I was doing the parking lots, he was doing the sidewalks, and then we kind of, winging a prayer, we did the steps and front doors. Realistically, when anybody plowed, we had 3, possibly 4 people. Everybody did their own little thing, and we were done by 8:30. You know, 2 guys, it's rough. It's damn hard. Now if you go guy and a half, it's even getting worse. When hauls show up, they got 3 guys. One's plowing, one's doing the sidewalks, and they got some doing scooping the steps. So I mean, realistically, you need 3 people to do it and do it right before 8:30. You know, that's hopefully if it's snowing at night. During the day, you got the same scenario. Somebody's plowing, somebody's doing the sidewalks, somebody's doing the steps, and then kind of everybody's solved. But it's a 3-man job, believe me.
So,
The part-time person has to be paid according to ASME contract.
Yes.
Yeah.
You have another complication with a part-time person in that you're asking them to be on call all the time.
Right.
yeah, they wouldn't have set hours, it'd be hard to find anybody to do
24/7
that
to be on call is kind of,
for 2 months and then not have a job.
yeah.
Yeah.
I don't think, I just.
Well, and usually if you have somebody on call, you have to pay them for being on
Yeah.
call.
Oh,
Yeah.
Usually you do. Yeah, I used to be an EMT, and when I was on call, they
Because-
paid me to be on call.
But
Because
this
if
is
you're
a-
on call, then they can't get another job.
That was a full-time person. I'm talking about a person that's not gonna find a full, that's not, you know, and they're out there, you know?
On every street corner.
I think with what Larry's saying, that really isn't realistic anyway. So, you know,
It sounds like what we're heading towards is to contract this out for the coming year. The only question becomes, I guess, the money part.
are we looking at 1 or 3 years?
Are you
And
satisfied that $9,000 a year is a realistic number?
It just all depends on the year. On a bad year,
Well,
it
It's got to
is.
even out over a period of time.
Right. If you go on a 3-year period, I think it's going to, like you said, it's going to even out and it will probably be fine. You know, you'll have good years, bad years. You know, and it probably, so, you know, if any of us knew what the weather was going to be the next 3 years, then we wouldn't be sitting here.
Should we can just accept the plowing and do our own salting? Is that possible?
Well, he was saying that the problem with that is
Oh, they're
coordinating.
working out with them, coordinating with them.
They, you know, you can do touch-ups, but the actual,
We could do this based on what Larry says. I understand what you're saying, Larry, and, but I just want to be mindful that I hope that that new wording in the contract was read and understood, because there has been problems in the past, and it happens every year.
well, we just have to enforce that wording. If they did not read it ahead of time, that's not on us.
There, you know, it's a quality issue here. It has been.
New wording now, we're gonna get new wording to the person we're talking to here.
In the bid sheet that they got, the wording specified that the sidewalks and steps had to be cleared completely.
Well, then I don't see why we can't put it in there and say that's what you agreed to.
Right.
It's already
it's
in there.
in there,
It's
so,
already in there.
yeah, so, you know,
They just have to live up to the wording, that's all.
right, and that's just a matter of us
Enforcement.
enforcing it. You know, if they leave, you know, that much along the edge of the sidewalk, we may not get picky, but if all they got is one shovel down the center, then we will. You know,
This sounds to me like we're narrowed it down to either a 1-year contract, like it's bid out for, or a 3-year, as it was bid out for. Not much in between.
okay?
And all we can do is suggest to the finance committee they find room for this in the new budget. That, subject to their approval.
So would you make a motion to that effect?
I move we go to a 3-year contract. That way we have a balanced over agreement with somebody down the road. At $8,500 a year and 50 cents a pound per salt, pending finance committee approval and a spot in the budget for it.
Is there a second?
Second.
Any further discussion?
Crow,
Yes.
Sure,
Yes.
Alt,
Yes.
Hasbargen,
Yes.
Barron.
Yes. Okay. Heat pump bid. Did you have that, Clyde? The heat pump bid for price? Did you give that to me?
Yeah, I
Oh, is that what this is part of it? Oh, okay.
Is it a,
Oh,
those
okay,
are
it's multiple.
quotes, not bids.
Correct.
We want to watch our wording. These are quotes, not
Well,
bids.
it's on a bid sheet. I mean, they did bid it, it just wasn't a sealed bid.
Who's it from?
This is,
Well,
okay.
Oh, okay. Where is this for? Where's this for?
Which place, this is,
where is the heat pump?
Yeah.
It's in FSA.
okay, FSA.
It's a small, the ones in the past have run closer to 10,000, I think we had one of those at 12.
This is one of the old ones.
One of the old ones, yes.
Why does it have to be replaced?
Why does it have to be replaced? Because it's not wanting to function on both heat and cool.
Wasn't there a circuit board that you couldn't need, that didn't make it anymore or something? Wasn't that the deal?
I'm sorry, what?
Wasn't there a circuit board that it needed and didn't make it anymore? So you had to rewire it for each season?
Right, and that circuit board evidently is not compatible with it because it could get to work on heat and cool both.
That wasn't the one that was it's required to switch over in the
Correct.
It did?
It did not switch over yet, no.
But I mean, is that the one that we want to replace?
Yeah.
It worked all right, only the switch wasn't.
That's the one we want to replace, yes.
I think that's one we should keep. That's when we know what's wrong with it.
Well, that's the one where supposedly had a 20-year service life versus a 10-year service life.
Yeah. Right.
But you're getting to where parts are no longer available. How much do you keep putting into something that's...
How old is this one?
Any idea of the age? Any idea of the age of that heat pump?
The age of it, I'm assuming it went in when FSA was put in.
No, FSA was just moved there.
Well, then,
Well,
Not just.
well, but I would assume the heat pump at FSA, the little one, that was probably one of the originals with everything else.
I would say 93, 95. So it's beyond 20 years.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's like it's expensive older, and it's still working.
Well,
Amazing.
No, we have to do what? Something, switch it every year.
Just like some of those cars on the road today.
This is already in our budget for this year.
yes, it is budgeted for this year.
Have we spent any money on heat pumps? Did we put in another one this year?
Have we done any other heat pumps this year?
One other?
Not this year.
Not this budget?
1 minute, hang on, it's in the sheet.
Oh, yeah.
No, none.
None?
Okay.
We got 45,000 in there.
Yep.
I'd make a motion to accept this bid, replace that heat pump. This 20 years life expectancy is over, and parts are no longer available, needs to be replaced.
A whole bunch in the building in the same category.
Yeah, but they're still functioning properly. This
Yeah.
one's not.
And that's why we're budgeting
If we know
annually
what's
to
wrong with
replace
this.
them.
Next one, we may not know.
But we can't get parts for it. We know what's wrong with it, but we can't get parts for it.
Now, the others pretty much said we replace it.
That's like knowing you have cancer and you can't cure it.
Yeah. I won't compare the two with cancer.
But we
Sorry, I
spent,
won't.
we spent what, a couple $100 on a circuit board and it didn't fix it. So, you know, how many times do you want to spend money on something that doesn't fix it?
No, I'm kind of getting at whether our policy in the past has been to replace them when they stop functioning altogether, and as opposed to a preventive type of thing where, you know, this is more, it appears this one is nearing the end of its life kind of thing.
It,
I disagree.
We have a whole bunch in the building like that.
I disagree with that statement. Our policy in the past has been to replace them when they start giving us trouble. That's when the problem, having it done. What do you
Yeah,
think?
because there's been ones that we could have replaced compressors on, but we replaced the unit because cost benefit. And so, yeah, we have replaced ones that we could have made function, but why throw money into a unit that was getting that old?
And we are
I
looking
guess I
at,
got a bad memory, and that's fine.
we are looking at the season where, if it's gonna go out, it's gonna do it in January when it's 20 below. It's Murphy's Law.
I knew one of them go out during January.
Right.
All of them are.
But this one is-
But this one's more
We have money right now
Why?
for this. We've been lucky that we've only had one or two. Next year, if we have three go bad, because they are getting to be over 20 years old, and that's why we're trying to do it a little at a time.
Did you have a second to your motion?
Not yet.
I second that motion.
Okay. Any further discussion?
What was the motion again?
To accept this bid, I guess restate it for you.
To accept this bid and replace the heat pump.
In FSA. Put that in there, to be so specific. Right.
Crow?
Yes.
Sure.
Yes.
Falk?
No.
Hasbargen?
Yes.
Barron?
Yes. Maintenance supervisor reports.
Only I have is that heat pump.
Okay. Larry?
Next Monday is Columbus Day, we're closed. I got with Train and Lau and Sheriff, and I think a good time to pull the trigger on the air conditioner will be Monday. Everything's closed. It's supposed to be 60 degrees, so the jail's not going to die, from overheating. So Train is coming Monday to work on this air conditioner. Put the seal, O-rings, things like that, fix the leak. I want to run it by you guys before we get this thing final.
You're fixing O-rings? I do remember a discussion on this.
We got a very bad leak from Freon,
That's right,
and it's R22, and Freon R22 is very costly,
right.
and it's going to keep increasing the value. So we need to get this leak fixed so we can control the cost on Freon.
I knew we had talked about it, I just couldn't remember, because I remembered the Columbus Day, I remembered the discussion, but I couldn't pull up all the details.
Do you remember Lyle 9800 or something like that?
Yes,
I don't know the
yes.
price offhand.
And you said, when we talked about it, it was in your budget, and we kind of wanted it, or you had money in your budget to do it.
Yeah, well,
And when they fix those, do they drain all the Freon out of it then?
it's a lot cheaper to run it to get the Freon out than pump it out, I guess, or something.
And then do they replace that with the R34 instead of the R22?
Can't.
No?
There's no kit where we can go from, 34 to from 22. As of yet. I mean, they're going to,
Unless they come out with a new Freon that's compatible,
correct.
because the Freon now takes different oils, and yeah, you can't.
They're going to get R22 and, recondition it and keep selling it as long as they can, but the price is just going to continue on.
But if we get the leak sealed up, we don't have to worry about it. It's a sealed system, so if it's in good shape, you don't lose any. Hopefully it gets us 10 years or so down the road, and by then the county will have all kinds of money.
Yeah.
Okay.
I'm going to go ahead and let October 10th to get this thing worked on, correct?
Yeah, that was already approved previously, so it was just the date was all that needed to be finalized, and I don't see any reason why that can't be done. That's it for you guys? Has the trash seemed like they're doing a better job, or we still aren't sure yet?
It's on Monday and Friday.
There's probably not much there on Monday, is there? When they pick it up, probably not much there on Monday.
Not really. They've been coming early in the morning on Fridays, so, and then later, usually after noon on Monday.
Yeah.
So they have
That's not bad then, I
Friday
guess.
afternoon's trash and Monday morning's trash. It's,
Yeah.
Any questions on the claims?
Move to pay the claims.
Is there a second?
Second.
Crow,
Yes.
Sure,
Yes.
Falk,
Yes.
Hathbarger.
Yes.
Barron.
Yes. Old business. Anybody got any old business? New business. Okay. New business, we have Chris Landstrom with Twin City Energy to talk to us about our electric rate, which our contract is going to be up.
Yep, your contract is coming up here this December meter read. We did a 3-year contract. Sure. 2 pages each. We did a contract, did a 3-year contract, which, like I say, is currently coming up here this December meter read. When we did this, capacity, all the tariff rates were really low, which is part of the commodity, as well as the supply was really low. Currently, right now, you're paying about 0.04429 cents per kWh for the commodity only. Right now, supply rates are still at about 15-year lows right now. Energy only is averaging anywhere from 0.03445 to about 3.03433. However, the all-in commodity rates have gone up dramatically. I'm sure you probably heard here back in June of 2015, capacity rates behind Ameren went up dramatically compared to where people were paying. So on average, people in the past had been paying in the low 4-cent range. Currently at your home now, you're probably paying anywhere from 0.058 to about 0.065 per kWh for the supply. So currently right now, I just have the current supplier that I have you guys currently with. However, I will be having more options for you. I probably will be bringing in about 5 to 8 total suppliers, so I have multiple bids for you guys to review. But right now, just based on what you're currently paying versus where the actual all-in commodity rates are projected for the next 12 to 36 months, you are looking at about a $10,350 increase annually for the 12-month term, $12,820 increase annually for a 24-month term, or $13,990 annually for a 36-month term. The main reason for this is capacity and transmission. Those are the 2 main parts of the tariffs that have gone up dramatically behind Ameren. All that is approved by the federal, by FERC, which approves any increase behind MISO, which Ameren's part of behind the MISO grid. So what I am recommending to my clients now, instead of doing an all-in rate, is more doing a energy-only, supply-only contract, letting the tariffs, which are line loss, capacity, transmission, ancillary, and renewable charges, pass through at tariff cost. Because if you do an all-in rate and there is a change in law, which FERC approved behind MISO for Ameren, then you're going to receive that increase on top of your all-in rate anyways. So one thing, I did send out some updates this year. I don't know, Amanda, I think you got them, but I don't know who else got them. What I was recommending this summer is for people to curtail their loads on the high peak days that the grid was really high. This way it will help lower your capacity obligations for the following year. So I think it was like July 22nd, if I remember right, was the date that is looking to be the high PLC day, which Ameren will use to set the customers' PLCs for the following year. So if, like I said, going forward, I highly recommend going to an energy-only contract, participating in the summer to curtail your load for, it's usually for an hour or two at the most, as much as you can to lower your demand for those hours that Ameren's going to potentially set your PLCs for the following year, in which then you will help save money on your transmission and capacity costs for the following June through May time period. I know this is an increase, and you guys have just talked about an 8 to 10, an increase on your snowplow and stuff. I will let you know, like I say, the contract that we did do at 0.043, 0.044, you guys have had it good for the last year and a half, especially because of where capacity rates have gone up. So you were, like I say, you've been paying a lot less than the average Ameren customer right now. So unfortunately, it's time. You're coming out of the contract where you're going to be seeing the real rates where the tariffs are currently at going forward. So this is for December 2016 meter read. I kind of, at this point, just wanted to bring this information to you today. I'll be happy to, like I say, provide you guys with updates here in the next couple of days, so that way you guys can review them. I will be more than happy to come back again next month with all the pricing from all the multiple suppliers and let you guys take it to the next steps on figuring out what you want to do and what supplier you want to work with starting in December on out. I will say that Homefield is one of my top 2 suppliers in Ameren territory and the best prices that I have for all my clients, whether it be schools, governmental bodies, churches, businesses, whatever. So with that, I will open it up. On the second page here, it just shows a graph of where the current markets have been. As you see here, we are still pretty low compared to market rates where they were here several years ago.
You've got how many different bids you can bring us next month?
Oh, probably at least 5 or 8. I got them out for bid. I just got one on my email. Unfortunately, I can't pull it down, but I'll probably at least 5 to 8 bids from different suppliers. And like I say, what I'll bring into you is both energy only as well as the all-in commodity rate.
Do we want to keep all the bids, or do we want him to?
Pick the top 3 or 4.
And it's up to you guys.
I'll be happy to show you all of them and then do a separate one where you have the top 3, top 4, but at least you can say, hey, we had set 5, 8 bids and here's the top 3 or whatever the case may be. And I'll tell you the ins and outs of each one.
Good. All right. Yeah, if you can bring us that.
If I may ask, was the county able to do any curtailing at all this summer with the updates that I sent you, Amanda? Did anybody act on any of that? Because I think I sent it to you and Kyle, but I think Kyle's off the board now, isn't he, or is he still on?
No, he's still on.
Okay.
Yeah, I don't.
And something like that, if I need to direct it to a maintenance person, I will be happy to do that.
When you say curtail, how far-reaching is that? Everybody shut everything off for 2 hours?
Right.
No, as much as you can. So, for example, turning your thermostats up for an hour or two. Or for example, get it really cold for a little bit, and then at 1 o'clock, between 1 and 2, either turn your HVAC systems off or just throw the temperature higher. Turn any unnecessary lighting, whatever, off. every customer is different, you know, and you still have to run your business. Some customers have backup generators. What they do is they flip their generator on, and they're able to curtail all that. So it just depends upon the customer of what they can or cannot do. So,
Were we able to do any of that? Or did
Didn't
you?
know anything about it.
That's for any 2 hours during the day?
On a certain day of the
it's
year.
certain days, like say when the grid's really high, that's when, you know, I'll give you a notification usually in the morning to say, hey, between 1 and 2, or 2 and 3, or 4 and 5, that looks like the grid's going to be really high. We recommend that you curtail your load for during these times.
Sounds like a good time to run your generator and test the system.
Yes. Yes.
I think we should give that a go and see how it works.
Well, that's in July that they do that? Is that what
It's,
said?
it happens anywhere from June through August. It just depends upon when the hot days are. Behind ComEd, we actually had one day in September that was called, so it was really warm, but the grid wasn't affected behind MISO. So, but yeah, I think Ameren, I think I only sent out notifications maybe like 5 times this summer. ComEd was a whole lot more than that. Because Ameren uses one peak day, hour, ComEd uses 5 hours. So it's a whole lot harder to try to narrow those 5 hours and stuff.
And the generator, does that run just specific items, or does it run the whole building?
Right, just specific items. It runs the IT room, I think the boardroom and the cafeteria. I think that's about it. It really doesn't run a lot, but it does keep the IT, it's really in public health. It runs public health and the IT room. Those are the
Business
two
would
things.
basically shut down while that generator's running. No computers or anything would be going.
No, no one's desktops.
Right.
If we weren't, I mean, if you shut everything off altogether to run it off the generator, right, we wouldn't have air conditioning, we wouldn't have anything.
So
That
what,
would be a problem.
on this instance here, if you just flip the generator on, that load basically goes off the system.
Right.
Instead of buying it from IT or Ameren, you're taking that load and putting it onto the generator. So anything left on the Ameren side, you know, lighting or whatever, you know, then you can help curtail more by turning your lighting off or whatever in other areas. Or like I say, turning your HVAC either off or up a little bit for an hour or two. Same way at the jail if you have one, or the courthouse.
Well, at least, you know, if the departments knew, if for instance, somebody was at lunch, that was a, you know, or there was some time, that there might be a portion of the office that they could turn the lights off. Or there might be a portion where we could, you know, even if we couldn't do 2 hours without air conditioning, it was 100 degrees, we could maybe turn that up for half an hour, or, you know, to help set that. I mean, there are things we could do. I think it's worth getting the information out to
And like I
everyone.
said, I have
Make a
some
plan.
people that'll make
Yeah.
it cooler for a while and then turn it off for an hour. So it just depends, like I said, it depends upon what you can do.
And with some planning, maybe public health could go without a desktop for a couple of hours. Maybe, you know, with some planning, if they knew that.
Usually it's 1 hour, at most I would call 2 hours. And like I say, it can range anywhere from starting at 1, usually it's over by 5, so it's either like 1 to 2, 2 to 3, 3 to 4, 4 to 5. So,
What we need to do is get you, like Larry's phone number, so you can send him a text message next spring, and he
Well,
can,
he sends out emails.
I send out emails, so if Amanda could just send me whoever's contacts, I can add them to my distribution list. And if they have questions, they can always contact me. Sometimes I know a couple days in advance that, hey, this looks like a high peak day, just to give you a heads up. And then that morning I will say, okay, yes, it looks between 1 and 2. We need to look to curtail your load.
Any other questions? Anything else you might want him to bring when he comes back next month?
When is next month's meeting for you guys?
The first Monday.
The first Monday of November?
October. Oh, November, yeah. You're right.
So it looks like it's November
No,
1st.
it's not going to be, it's going to be,
November 1st?
No, it'll be October 31st.
it'll be Halloween.
We wear a costume then.
You go ahead.
Yeah, this month then, okay.
Yeah.
And are you
Because of the
gonna,
way it falls.
is the committee gonna vote to publish, to receive bids?
Well,
So
yeah, I
you would
think
have Chris's and maybe other vendors with bids?
So we'll hear those bids that day, October 31st. Today's the 4th, 3rd.
I guess we would need a motion on that if we want to put for bid from, and then he can bring his bids, and if there's anybody else out there.
I move that we publish the bids on the electric rates.
When does this have to be finalized?
December is when this contract runs out.
Yeah, so you would approve it at your
November meeting.
November meeting, which is,
21st.
The 31st of October.
but it doesn't have
But
to,
then,
doesn't have to go
the
to...
board meeting would be then 8th of November.
The 9th,
9th, because that's
Oh.
election day.
Okay,
8th is election day.
okay. So,
Yeah, and that still should work fine for for a December start.
okay, so we have a motion to receive bids. Do we have a second?
It's too late.
Second.
All in favor of putting out for bids?
Aye.
All opposed? Motion carries.
Thank you very much for your time.
All right. Under new business.
When is the bid? Yeah, that's electric. This is electric.
Somebody talking? Yeah.
I said, did I say electric? Oh, this is electric.
It's hard to hear when you have your hand over your mouth.
The contract
Speaking down
date
into
should
nothing.
be on one of these sheets when they come due. This is the only thing currently. Okay. Next new business. One of our employees noticed and did a little bit of cleaning up in the trees, but there's garbage being thrown there, apparently from the soccer field. And I did notice this morning there is a garbage can on their side, so I don't know if that's the first time I've noticed that.
And they're not using it, huh?
Well, I don't know.
Is there a garbage can?
It's on their side, so apparently it's their garbage can. But I don't know.
So they need to be notified to use that
Yeah.
and quit throwing it in the trees.
It's ours?
It's
Oh,
not ours,
it's
I'm
not
saying there
ours.
are
Okay.
garbage cans there.
Okay.
Who
So,
empties those? That I don't know.
Well, they should empty their garbage can, they should.
yeah, I would think. But,
It's their choice whether they have a garbage can or not, but they should not be depositing any garbage on them over there.
right.
Period. So they need to be notified accordingly.
But the employee that did pick up a few things stopped because they saw what they thought was poison ivy, so that may be an issue that we need to take care of too.
Yeah, maybe whoever comes up with poison ivies, maybe we figure out who's throwing it.
No, because they'll just throw it into the poison ivy. When is the lawn mowing contract up? Don't know.
I don't have that with me.
Okay.
I think
Not on
Okay.
Amanda keeps the contract, but I think we just do it per season, don't we? Do we have an
I-
end date?
yeah.
I
Or
didn't
do we call it
remember
the
if
mowing
we,
season?
I'm thinking we
We
did
just
a
had the last
multi.
payment.
Yeah, it's right here in the middle.
Yeah.
Last payment, what we approved.
But that was last spring.
Did I have a date on it?
They mow lawns all summer long.
But last spring was when we did the contract.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Well, it's
way
just,
winter.
I don't, looking at the contract, it's not
This-
real specific,
The seventh payment.
so that'd be this year. But, I don't know why it's not getting mowed between the trees other than it needs to be cleaned up, but once it's cleaned up, that should be getting mowed with everything else. You know, but it wasn't real specific. You know, I looked at the...
Are there any limbs or anything laying in between the trees? They wouldn't be able to mow if they're there.
Right,
They'd
you
to
have
clean
brush starting to grow up in that, so it needs to be cleaned out, but then, once it's cleaned out, it needs to be mowed
In the trees?
in the tree.
Oh, there's so many stumps out there that,
Can't mow it,
no.
so then we just need to spray it. Okay.
We just sprayed that, but I mean, I know you have to, when we sprayed a couple months ago?
Oh, no, that was like May, June.
Oh, yeah, so every time we sprayed, yeah.
But anyway, the garbage is an issue. I don't know if anybody knows anybody that is involved with that, if you know who to get a hold of. That's not her job.
Well,
No,
isn't
but
that,
she probably knows who to get a hold of. Who's the head of the soccer? Isn't that the Sherry? Sherry.
the park district, Sherry Johnson would be the person to get in contact with.
Do you know her?
Sure, I can stop in there and tell her.
You know, just mention to her that, you know, people are...
They do it today.
Okay.
You're on it.
While we're on that, with the stumps net, there are several dead trees in there. I don't know, I know there's not anything in the budget for cleaning that out, but those are going to become an issue if they start falling.
Well, your repairs and maintenance budget has $27,000 in it this year, and thus far you've used $7,000.
Okay.
So you do have money in there if you wanted to clean those out this year. That would just be part of your maintenance and repairs.
Okay. I know you had talked to the highway department about it, hadn't you? You had talked to the highway department about getting a chainsaw or something, no? Oh, I thought you were going, I thought you had, okay. Okay.
How big are the trees?
Some of them are...
They're not too bad then. Chainsaw take them down pretty quick.
Yeah, they're all pine.
Soft wood.
The thing of it is when you start removing trees, we want somebody, that's the kind of thing, and chainsaws, we want somebody that's insured and bonded and licensed,
They'd have to be insured, yeah.
Yeah, we don't want it dropping on a vehicle.
or somebody
Yeah.
getting pinned under, you know. We don't want,
I don't know, you know, how much we want to do on that, but, you know, it is something that's going to become an issue if it's not.
since we have the funding available this year, is it something you want the guys to go and get quotes on as opposed to bids and see where we're at money-wise?
I'm just bringing it up that it could be an issue. What do you guys think?
How many are there? How many dead trees? You have any idea at all?
You've got money in the budget.
We ought to have them taken out.
In that area, right by where I parked, there was at least a half a dozen.
Yeah, we ought to have them
And
taken out.
that's
We have the
in
money.
an area the length of this table. So,
Let's ask fellows to get prices as opposed to formally bidding it, and then if we need to bid it, well, if it's more than what we've got in the budget, then what?
speak up.
I said, should we ask them to get prices from some people?
We should put it out for bid or do nothing, one or the other.
I'm asking you guys, I just noticed it this morning, and
If you want to do something with this year's money, we got to go out for bids right away so we can approve it next meeting and get it done.
technically not on the agenda, can we do that?
You go get bids, I
Just did it
think.
for the electric.
We didn't take any, that was informational.
Yeah.
We didn't take any action.
So if it's under $30,000, you have to bid it?
No, we don't.
Right, you don't have to bid it.
It's part of the
You could do
maintenance.
it just as part of repairs and maintenance. You've got an adequate budget.
Then if it's
Cover
under
it.
$30,000, why can't we talk about the bids now?
The only reason for getting bids is just to see who you want to...
Who's the lowest one?
Okay, basically, we can say, okay, maintenance, this is part of your maintenance, go do it.
Get some prices.
Except the lowest bid
Right.
that's advertised
Okay.
in the paper by a certain date.
Then I will get with our maintenance men and we will see what we can do with the monies available. Any other new business?
Move to adjourn.
Is there a second?